there's some resemblances between Invisible Children and AFRICOM. Now, AFRICOM is a branch of the United States Department of Defense, whose primary goal is military occupation of Africa so they can utilize the resources. Now, they won't say this on their website, obviously, but when you go, you look into it, you will see it. And do your own research, like I said. Don't take my fucking word for it. It's half of your guys' problem. So, go, you look into it, you will see it. And do your own research, like I said. Don't take my fucking word for it. It's half of your guys' problem. So, AFRICOM wants military occupation of the African nations. And the reason is, now get this, Uganda, Southern Sudan, these countries that come directly, you don't really hear as much about Sudan as you hear about Uganda. But Uganda has beautiful mineral reserves. I'm talking gold, silver, diamonds, and here's a big one, uranium. So, now you gotta think, okay, well, there's other stuff there. Because we all know our government doesn't just, spend time and money on, humanitarian causes. They don't do that. They don't go into countries, if they did, they would have, it's like the black girl said in, the Ugandan girl said in her video. What have we forgotten about Darfur? We've, forgotten about, West Papua. We don't go in and help countries, because they got bad dictators or, child soldiers. We don't do that. It has to be something in it for them. And there is. Heritage Oil has found billions, the potential for billions of barrels of oil in Uganda. It's one of the, one of the largest discoveries of the time. So now, it starts to become clear. You look, you got this shady organization. They don't want to be audited. They don't want people to know where they're getting money from, who their money's going to. You got their resemblance, their striking resemblance between their group, their charity, so to speak, with AFRICOM, which is, like I said, part of the U.S. government. It's a way of, going out and establishing their geopolitical, needs. But then also, and I want to point this out, there's a sense of urgency. Like I said, Invisible Children has been around for a while. Only now are they starting to become, more worldly known, more, well, at least nationwide. They have nationwide recognition. Because there's a sense of urgency. Because, China has huge stakes. They have, they got their hands in the grounds over there in Uganda, in Sudan, in these oil mineral reserves. The United States is sort of last in line. And, they don't want that. So, I want you to look at the bigger picture. Go and do your own research and tell me what you see. Do you see a group that is out there, trying to help children? And that's what they want. They just want to, get rid of the child soldiers. Or do you see a group that is shady, that is advocating military and financial aid to himself a human rights violator, Youre Museveni, a dictator, responsible for death, genocide, and he himself responsible for the use of child soldiers? Okay, a group that bears striking resemblances to certain outfits of the U.S. Department of Defense, and that may itself, be the water carrier for a group like AFRICOM, who has a more insidious agenda, military occupation. You want to help the children. It's, it's just like the other Ugandan girl said in her video. There's Amnesty International. But not only that, there's plenty of other places where it is a more black and white example of good and evil. You look at West Papua. Our government has been giving Indonesia military aid, funding, and all that for years so they can go in and commit genocide against a group of people that are fighting back with bows and fucking arrows, okay? Alright, they didn't do anything wrong. They're tribes people. over in West Papua is over by Australia. They bear resemblance to the Indonesian people. Okay? And every time the UN comes up to say, hey, you know, Indonesia, stop doing this, the United States comes to their defense. Okay? So there are plenty of other causes where it is more black and white, you know, where it is more clear-cut who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. Is using child soldiers wrong? Yes, it is. Do I agree with it? No, I fucking don't, okay? But you really gotta step back and think of how you fix the problem, okay? You don't fix it by giving money and military aid to a corrupt dictator. You don't fix it by taking somebody's word for it who claims to be an humanitarian who you've never met before in your life after a 30-minute video that as long as you give him money and you spread the word about his charity, that he's going to go and he's going to take care of this terrible problem. It's not how you fix it, okay? I need you to go and you need to do it for yourself, you know, for the sake of fucking humanity. Think for yourself. Go do your own research. Okay? Don't let these people tell you that something is wrong and then just take their word for it. Remember they did it in Iraq. Alright? They did it with when Iraq invaded Kuwait. You know, they said, they had that girl come up and give the powerful testimony about how Saddam Hussein's soldiers were in there flipping over incubators and throwing babies out of incubators and killing them, stomping them out. And then come to find out the girl giving the testimony was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador. Okay? And you didn't find this out till way later. Until we had already invaded. Until we had already put in permanent military installations. Which, you know, actually led to a lot of anti-American feelings in the Middle East, but we're not going to get into that. I'm just saying is that the problem is nobody looks at the past. Nobody looks at history. Nobody pays attention to what's going on right now. You know, you watch a 30-minute video and all of a sudden you're a fucking activist. You know, you need to just stop and think and look at the whole bigger picture. Alright, that's all. You know, maybe I'll post some more videos. And oh, another thing. I'm not Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. I'm not with them. I'm not a representative of them. But if you want to go and you want to find out some of the stuff that's really going on, I highly suggest these websites. You know, they're a good introduction into a lot of things that are actually happening with the world. So that's Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. And yeah, that's it. You know, hopefully you do your own research. Hopefully you use your own fucking head.